Hello everyone. If you're somebody who finds that you have knee pain when you're lunging or just really extreme discomfort and you absolutely hate lunging, this video is for you, and that's what we're going to be chatting about today. This video actually came about when I was scrolling through the XX Fitness, which is female fitness subreddit, and this girl was complaining about really hating lunges, and I was going through the comments and I just gave my insight on some of the tips that I do when I see clients with issues with lunging, and usually with a small tweak, they're feeling a lot better. And everybody kind of like swarmed in and was like, oh my God, I never knew this. This is really helpful. So I figured, why not make a YouTube video about it? Because it's probably going to help some people too. So let's dive in. Little disclaimer here, if you are not cleared by a doctor and you have some sort of knee injury, you tore something before, the doctor's like, hey, do not do lunges, don't do any of this until you get cleared from a doctor, okay? Or a physical therapist. On a side note though, I'm a fan of getting second opinions and going to multiple experts in the field because there's been many times that people have been told they cannot absolutely do anything. And after I've worked with, a physical therapist with this client, we've worked together, we've actually been able to overcome those things. So definitely if you're feeling like, hey, maybe I can do more and I'm not sentenced to a life of never doing a lunge ever again or something else, then definitely get a second opinion. See if you can improve the mobility or the condition that you're currently going through, because I'm sure with some sort of rehab technique, there is a way to at least improve your quality of life a little bit, okay? Now we're gonna get into the video. All right, so walking you through a static or stationary lunge, that's going to be your kind of starting point here for lunging. You don't want your feet too close together like I'm showing here. That's going to put too much pressure on your knees. That's a big no-no. We don't want it overly wide either. We don't want to strain or tear something. You want your feet to be a nice distance apart, just in the middle. And when you lunge, you want to picture your knees going straight down towards the ground so they make a nice, almost 90-degree angle. Depending on your height, everybody's stance is going to be different, but this will be a great static, stationary lunge. If a stationary lunge is a little too difficult right now, you can hold on to something sturdy while you perform the same lunge to get through the range of motion. Make sure there's a slight lean forward to do the move properly. Hope this helps. If doing that type of lunge is still too difficult, it might be best to modify to a step up for right now. A step up mimics a lunge as close as possible without being an actual lunge. So this is going to be the next best thing until you get a little bit more strength and mobility. All right, so we covered all of the regressions of a lunge. Let's look at the progressions. So to make things a little bit harder from the stationary lunge, we can do a forward lunge or a reverse lunge, which we'll see here in a second. The forward lunge I tend to do less because I feel like it puts a little bit more strain on my knees when I press back up to start, but it comes down to preference and how your body feels. So use your best judgment here. Another advanced progression would be the 3D lunge. I don't see this talked about very often, but it's doing a lunge in all three planes of motion. So you can see I'm doing a forward lunge, a reverse lunge, and a side lunge. So you're going to hit all the different angles. This is great for just working the muscles in different ways and a great way to challenge yourself. All right, next up we have the Bulgarian split squats. I know they have squat in the name, but they're definitely more lunge-like in structure. These are great. These had a balancing element, and they really kill the glutes and quads depending on how you do them, but this is another great kind of progression from a stationary lunge. All right, next up we have walking lunges. I bet you didn't even know there was this many types of lunges you can do. Walking lunges are great. They're definitely a little bit more cardio for me. They always get my heart rate up, but I do love the movement element to these guys. And then the other move that is a lunge, the last one, is a curtsy lunge. So stepping down, back, and slightly to the side, that's going to target your glutes a little bit more, and it's an angled lunge. Just make sure you don't go too extreme here to put unwanted pressure on the knees. All right, guys, I hope you found that video helpful. Sorry I don't have a fancy gym set up, literally just in my apartment, but I still think that it's valuable. So thanks for tuning in, and we'll chat again soon. Bye.